The biggest moments in sports are streaming live on Fox One. From MLB to NFL, Big Noon Saturdays, and so much more. Fox One brings you the games, rivalries, and can't-miss moments all season long. And it doesn't stop at the final whistle. Catch highlights, expert analysis, interviews, and the stories behind the biggest moments in sports. Watch live or on demand, at home or on the go. Stream Fox Sports on Fox One. Download the app today.
If you want all of your data in one place, if you want a single home for all of your entities, if you want to spend more time working and less time searching, you need the Intuit ERP. I know because I'm Damon John, and I run my growing business on Intuit Enterprise Suite, the AI native ERP that's powerful, painless, and proven. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Hey guys, today I'm interviewing my cat about his perfect bistro food. Percy, you seem to be a big Perfect Bistro fan. Care to comment? Totally. What do you like about it? You love the high-quality ingredients? And the delicious flavors, of course. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Listen to Percy, guys. Visit perfectbistro.com to try it for your cat.
Okay, Mom, for my dorm, I'm thinking coquette meets poet core.
That sounds like a vibe. What do you need? And where do we get it?
Target. I already have everything on my mood board. A comforter, pillows, and a super cute floral lamp.
So you probably need a rug to tie it all together.
OMG, they have the perfect CMPC rug.
CMPC?
Coquette meets poet core.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's RTT.
Yeah, let's run to Target. You're getting it. Find your dorm inspiration and everything you need at Target.
We're on the eve of training camp beginning, and I want to go over some of the fun storylines and battles that I foresee happening over the next couple weeks of training camp. Guys, welcome to the Eagles Checkdown. Fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, jointly produced by the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network over on YouTube. Guys, make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe. Do what you got to do to support these two great brands, however you're watching or listening to this show. And make sure you tune in to Trending in the AM every single day at 8 a.m. for 90 minutes of live sports talk on the STT Sports Network. Guys, it's the eve of training camp. Training camp starts tomorrow. We're 2 days away from the first practice. And I got some storylines. And I got some battles. Now, the core and crux of this team is set, right? But I think there are some fun, intriguing, and curious stories to look and to keep an eye on as practices begin in just a few days, right? I want to start with wide receiver, right? And a lot's been made of the Eagles wide receiver room, all offseason, right? With the loss of A.J. Brown. We've got Devontae Smith, obviously. He is our number one. We drafted Mekhi Lemon in the first round. We traded for and extended Dontavian Wicks. We also added Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore, Johnny Wilson, Quez Watkins, Darius Cooper, Britton Covey, all other names, Danny Gray, right? I think there's two stories with the wide receiver. Story one, who makes the roster at spot 5 if they keep 6, whatever it is? And then what's the pecking order, right? Who's the priority? Who is going to get the targets when and where after Devontae Smith? And I really do think that there's more of a battle for targets from Jalen Hurts than there is for roster spots. I think it's Wicks, it's Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, and Mekhi Lemon. Those 4 roster spots are locked. They normally only keep 5 wide receivers out of camp, which means there's 1 spot open between Moore, Wilson, Cooper Covey. Quez Watkins really doesn't have a chance. It could come down to Johnny Wilson, Elijah Moore, or Darius Cooper, in my opinion. And who knows? But I want to say that Hollywood Brown is being thought of as the 4th guy, right? He's got $5 million in guaranteed. Dontavian Wicks is a guy they traded for and extended right away. But, Wicks even knows he's got to and this is a quote from him recently, show what I am worth, right? He's a guy that's had drop issues and could not separate himself from a very mid-wide receiver room in Green Bay, which some would say outside of Devontae Smith, this is a very questionable wide receiver room. So is Dontavian Wicks instantly one of the top 3 guys? Is Mekhi Lemon, who missed a portion of offseason activities with a hamstring issue, is he locked in to being one of the top targets right out of the gate, I think you're going to see a very spread out set of targets early on from the Eagles and from this Sean Mannion offense before two of these guys take over later in the season. I think you're going to see 4 or 5 guys regularly get used, where in the past it was A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and that's it, dots and who, right? I think we're going to see that. I think the last wide receiver spot, Johnny Wilson or Elijah Moore or Darius Cooper, it's going to be fun to talk about, but the real story is who is Jalen Hurts going to be throwing to more than less once the season starts. Tight end, there's a depth competition there, probably. Grant Calcaterra, does he make the team over Cam Latu? I don't know. Is there a battle at running back 3 between Will Shipley and Dameon Pierce? Will Shipley leads the charge as the third running back, but Dameon Pierce has a lot of experience in the NFL, especially as kick returner. And while Will Shipley's a good, solid kick returner, Dameon Pierce is even better. So I think that's a curious one to keep an eye on right there as well. Quarterback 3, is there a battle there? Or quarterback 2? Obviously, Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback of this football team. They bring in Andy Dalton. Tanner McKee, we thought would be traded, has not been traded, right? And then they draft Cole Payton. I would argue there's a quarterback 2 battle between Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee, and Cole Payton is the lock for the third quarterback. Can they get enough out of Tanner McKee to trade him to keep Andy Dalton? Or if not, is Andy Dalton on the outside looking in? I think that's another fun little camp battle. I want to also look at the defensive line spot here. I think there is a lot to talk about and battling going on the defensive line, edge and tackle, right? Does Brandon Graham ever sign? When recording this, Brandon Graham still hasn't signed with the team, right? I'd argue there's less depth on the tackle position than the edge position, right? Because you got Carter Davis and Njomo, but behind him you got Byron Young, Bernard, and Ty Robinson. On the edge, at least you've got Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jonathan Grenard, right? You've got other guys, Abeketai, Nubi, Weru, Epineza. You've got a bunch of names there. Someone's got to separate themselves. I'll be curious to see, again, just like the wide receiver room, not how the edge battles out on the back end of the roster, but how the snap distribution works out once the season starts between Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, and Jonathan Grenard. You spent a lot of money to bring Jonathan Grenard in. Jalix Hunt led the team in sacks and interceptions last year. Nolan Smith, you just picked up his 5th-year option, and he's playing for a long-term contract. I think it's a fun little battle we'll see unfold in camp, and we'll know the answer to in those first couple weeks. Obviously, there'll be a battle at safety as well. We know Drew Makuba's starting. We know Cooper DeJean's going to be a starting safety in the rare base formation, but Marcus Epps and the rest of the safety room, is going to be battling it out for snaps, right? JT Gray, Marcus Epps, Cole Wazinski, the rookie Andre Sam has been hanging around for years on the practice squad. Michael Carter was supposed to be transitioned. Now he's not. Who knows? I think there's another interesting battle right there to begin. So tomorrow starts training camp, right? We're 2 days away from the first practice. These battles are going to unfold, and we'll be breaking it down every single day that there's an open practice right here on the Eagles Checkdown and on Trending in the AM every single day. So for now, guys, everybody have a good day. Go Birds! And bubbles up.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at Accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha?
Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
Pays Checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out, because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pays. It checks out. Activation required. See Pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.